I'm Truman the Grey Merchant. Basic lands need no introduction, so I won't give them one. But I will let Mark Rosewater share one piece of trivia on a particular basic land.
So Arabian Nights, the plan for Arabian Nights was it was going to be sort of a brand new Magic set. And the original idea was it'd have a brand new back at the pretty last minute, I mean very close to printing. Richard made the decision to just use the normal Magic back and not have a special back. But because it was going to have a unique back, they made basic land to go into Arabian Nights. So the idea was if you wanted to play with just Arabian Nights, there were Arabian Night lands that you could use that had that back. At the last minute, they decide to not do that, so they have to change the sheets. So they pull all the basic land off the sheets, except they forget one. So one of the great trivia questions is, what basic land appears in more sets than every other basic land? And the answer is mountain, because in Arabian Nights, there was a mountain that got left on the sheet.
He and others bring up that fact fairly often. I've long been fascinated by magic myths. A while back, I did a video examining 32 of them. Today, I'll be investigating if the Arabian Nights Mountain trivia qualifies as one. And with how well Red is doing in Standard right now, it's as appropriate a time as any. To clarify, I'm not doubting that the initial mountain mistake happened. Anyone with about $200 can confirm that themselves. What I want to check is whether or not mountain remains the most printed basic land. I think that the answer to this will actually depend on exact wording. If we specifically go with appears in the most physical randomized booster products, then I believe that mountain might actually tie with plains. It all comes down to the Kaldheim set booster. The booster's land slot only had snow-covered basic lands, which I'm not counting for this video, but the list for the set contained plains and no other basic lands. However, I am not sure if the foil or non-foil card of any rarity could be a basic land. If so, mountain would maintain its traditional lead. If not, mountain and plains would tie ahead of the other three. I threw the question out to the public, but so far no one knows for sure. If you do, please let me know. If you word it merely as appears in the most products, the answer is different. If we look at every set with tournament legal basic lands, which means including silver bordered sets, but excluding things like differently sized or backed cards, by product code, the results are as follows. Plains at 193, Swamp and Forest both at 196, Island at 197, and finally, Mountain at 200. Yes, it turns out that Mountain does have the current lead there. You could conceivably analyze it even further by breaking it down into individual decks and kits and stuff, but I have limits. Another way to look at the question is most unique arts. Scryfall puts things at Swamp at 352, Island at 358, Forest at 361, Plains at 362, and Mountain at 369. Yes, Mountain has again taken the lead. This is in part due to factors like Mountain having 5 more secret layer printings than the next most populous land. Surprisingly, if you word the question as most unique printings, Mountain is not ahead. Swamp takes the lead at 759, followed by Forest at 758, then Mountain at 734, Plains at 710, and Island at 705. So, in conclusion, if you word it as appears in the most products or most unique arts, Mountain wins. If you word it as most unique printings, Swamp has the lead. Finally, if you word it as appears in the most physical randomized booster products, Mountain either wins or ties with Plains, depending on the status of the Kaldheim set booster. Please weigh in on that if you know, or if you have any other thoughts on the matter. My previously mentioned Mythbusters video is here if you're interested. Thanks to my patrons for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for watching. Bye!